Well, the funding fight is heading to the Senate now after 7 House Democrats broke rank, joining Republicans to pass a sweeping package that includes funding for ICE and DHS. Congressional correspondent Bill Melugin is live on Capitol Hill. He's got the details for us. Hello, Bill.
Sandra, good morning to you. There were 207 House Democrats who voted against this DHS funding bill last night. They were largely upset about the fact that the bill didn't rein in ICE or defund the agency as they had demanded. But keep in mind, DHS isn't just ICE, it's FEMA and TSA, so it was crucial to get this passed. This is a list of the 7 House Democrats who crossed party lines and voted with Republicans to get this bill passed. The only Republican no vote was Congressman Thomas Massie. The bill now heads to the Senate next week, and we caught up with some of the members after the vote yesterday.
If I were a member of the United States Senate, I would not vote for funding this ICE. I would not vote for funding ICE.
They want open borders. They want anarchy. They're not your granddad's Democrat Party.
In the meantime, many Democrats are now pushing a narrative that ICE arrested a 5-year-old boy named Liam Conejo Ramos in Minneapolis, then used him as bait to arrest other family members. Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley posting, quote, "ICE is kidnapping 5-year-olds. I need you to look at Liam's sweet face and see your own child. Don't look away." But DHS says those claims are lies. They say the real story is ICE was attempting to arrest Liam's illegal alien father when he ran from agents, then left the little boy completely alone. Vice President J.D. Vance addressed this controversy yesterday.
I'm a father of a 5-year-old, actually, a 5-year-old little boy, and I think to myself, oh my God, this is terrible. How did we arrest a 5-year-old? Well, I do a little bit more follow-up research. And what I find is that the 5-year-old was not arrested, that his dad was an illegal alien, and then when they went to arrest his illegal alien father, the father ran. So the story is that ICE detained a 5-year-old. Well, what are they supposed to do? Are they supposed to let a 5-year-old child freeze to death?
And Sandra, at least one Democrat is now admitting they got the story wrong. Former Minnesota Congressman and presidential candidate Dean Phillips posting on social media in part, quote, "Since I hate misinformation, I acknowledge the little boy was abandoned by his father who fled ICE agents." Send it back to you.
Got it. Bill Melugin on the Hill for us. Thank you.
So let's get a taste of things. Shannon Bream, anchor of Fox News Sunday. Shannon, good morning to you. I want to get to a couple of the topics, but just on immigration. It's not going away. The vice president there yesterday, the story of this 5-year-old. How's that playing in Washington, all of this, Shannon?
Yeah, so that, lands all that information. At the same time, the Senate's now got to decide on these House votes that were sent over, and Bill did a great job breaking down, the crossovers and what happened there. We hear from Senator Tim Kaine this morning, and he says we are not voting on these bills. We should not vote on these bills unless we amend them. He's got serious issues. So all of this ICE stuff, immigration, DHS, could, factor into the fact that this weather is going to make it difficult for senators to get back here. The Senate doesn't have proxy voting. They've got to actually get here to vote on these funding bills. So now Kane's saying, unless we get amendments, we may not move this thing forward. Democrats do have some power to stop this thing.
All right, Shannon, I want to ask you about this war of words between the California governor, Gavin Newsom, and President Trump. President Trump has been slamming, Gavin Newsom as a lame duck governor of a failing state. Gavin Newsom's fired right back at him. And it's all happening on the world stage. And even some, unexpectedly, are coming to the defense of President Trump on this. Here's Stephen A. Smith slamming Newsom. Listen.
Say whatever you want here. As a governor from the opposite side of the aisle of a state in the United States on American soil, fine. But I'm one of those people, when we go somewhere else, it's America first. Our problems, are our problems. But we ain't taking dirty laundry outside.
Yeah, maybe the global stage isn't the right place to have this war of words.
Yeah, and we used to have this, that critique stops at the water's edge, that, when you're overseas, you're not taking shots at the current administration or U.S. policy. But I just don't know that these two can resist going after each other, whatever the stage is. Mark Halperin had very interesting reporting, too. He said, according to him, they actually had this nice little chit-chat backstage and were kind of, teasing each other and that kind of thing. And then the president said something like, "We're good, Gavin." So it works for both of them. I think to be foils for each other, it's very much, setting up this 2028 potential bid for Gavin Newsom. And there are plenty of Republicans out there saying we don't mind him elevating and having a high profile in these fights with the president because they think he's a weak contender and his record is bad and they want to campaign against him.
Yeah, I picked up on what Halpern was reporting too, and you wonder how much of this is performative. Trump went into Davos.
Works for both of them.
Yeah, it does. And Trump went into Davos and dominated, and Newsom, fought for the oxygen that he received as well. David Axelrod had an interesting comment, however. He observes this from the Democratic perspective. He says Newsom's whip smart, charismatic. His critiques of Trump are right, but this, why can't people just be as courageous as me? That routine is tedious. Haven't we seen enough self-puffery in our leaders? I didn't see that one coming, Shannon. Did you?
Well, I wouldn't have, but listen, this is a very frustrated party that does not want to make mistakes, repeat mistakes that cost them a potential real run at the White House in 2028. So I think that they're going to be a lot more open to critiquing their own from the inside so they end up with what they believe is the strongest possible candidate for 28. With that in mind, Gavin Newsom's got some weak spots, and Democrats haven't been afraid to point them out.
Shannon, so good to see you on this Friday.